Good evening, everyone. My name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD89 VA Claims Consulting, Leave No Vet Behind. And also, I'm United States Army veteran coming to you live tonight to answer some questions about the VA disability compensation claims process. Took a couple of weeks off. I moved the time back a week, the date back a week. So now I'm back on track to going every other Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, there's some things that I'm going to cover before we get into tonight's Q&A. So go ahead and feel free to load me up with some questions. But before we get started, just want to make sure that I inform everybody that this presentation or this live stream tonight is not to give medical advice. It's or legal advice. Is only intended purposes for informational and educational purposes only. Okay, so I want to make sure that people can post comments here. Can't post comments to some this thing. Okay, all right, yeah. So just make sure if someone going to gives me a thumbs up, let me know if they can hear me and can actually post some comments. I don't see any. I had to change the broadcast earlier. Okay, Bobby. Okay, hey, appreciate it, Bobby. So again, I'll go ahead. It's only gonna be an hour tonight, so I want to maximize the hour with some things that I want to cover. First and foremost, I did some previous videos, talked about the DBQs been updated. So if you go out to the VA's website, you can find the link to the VA's DBQs in the description section of all my videos. They released or updated the DBQs last month, January 2022. The only thing that I saw, and actually another veteran in one of my last veterans roundtables from last month pointed it out, that they're asking for the provider's not medical background, but expertise, okay, in the description, I'm sorry, in the signature block of each DBQ. So I went through and I looked at about 20, 30 DBQs, and all of them had that change. So definitely you want to make sure that you're getting the correct DBQ. I provide the link, the VA's link to the DBQs on in the description section of each one of my YouTube videos. All you got to do is click the show more and get down to that description section. Okay. Some of the other videos that I did, fastest way to file a claim, and I listed or showed the direct upload and how some of my clients have been using that with some success. Okay, so I want to share that with everyone to make sure that they are aware. Also, I talked about permanent total, PNT, sleep apnea, secondary mental condition. And then also a lot of people's, I get, requests of people say, hey, you talked about a particular video. Can you share that link? I think I have over 100 YouTube videos. Okay. So it takes time for me to go through and search on my channel. It's fairly quick. But if you go to my channel and then you click the link videos and you type in a topic, that video will pop right up. Okay. So if I don't get back with you on that, you can go out to my YouTube channel. It only takes a little bit and find that video yourself. Okay. If I don't have anything going on at the particular time, I may go out and do it, but it may save you some time asking me and waiting on me, and you can do that yourself. Okay. How to find videos on YouTube channel, put YouTube channel link in chat box. So I'm going to put the link to my YouTube channel in the chat box so people have it. Okay. Wait a minute. So people have it. So it's there. Check it out. All right. And I just want to remind everyone, my veteran roundtable every third Thursday of each month. Last month I had a guest speaker, and she came on and she talked about VA mortgages. I recorded the event. I may put it on my YouTube channel. I don't know, but I have it. She came on and talked about criteria. What is the latest criteria? Just the latest and greatest as it pertains to VA mortgages. She was a loan originator for a local mortgage company, but she does mortgages nationwide. Okay. And last, for my notes, still want to challenge veterans to don't forget to submit that FOIA request to get a copy of your claims file. Okay. All right. So let's just go ahead and jump into some questions. Bobby, hey, Bobby, how you doing? ZL, hello. Gene, how we doing? Good evening, vets and family members. Let's thumbs up. Okay, I appreciate it, Gene. My condolences to you and your family. Thank you for the support. Commas up. Okay. Okay, thank you. You can hear me. Yep. So I don't know what it was when I did when I set this broadcast up. It gave had two links to YouTube when I logged on about 10 minutes prior, and it was like I was trying to leave comments, and it was like, oh, can't do it, so I had to remove it and get it back up. Wesley, hello, Dwayne. How we doing, Wesley? 7 months, still waiting for a claims file, Bobby. There is a way. I think you could speed that up. I did a video about if you could file a complaint with the VA, and I think I did it December 27th, 2020. Okay. JR, hi, Dwayne. I recently received my rating decisions, and I agree with all but one. Anxiety was service connected, but I feel the rating was low. Should I file supplemental or file for an increase? JR, I don't advise veterans on what they should or shouldn't do with their claim, but understand what's a supplemental claim. That means you were previously denied. You weren't denied. It gave you service connected you. Do you have a copy of your claims folder? Do you have a copy of the Cnp exam? Does the Cnp exam reflect that percentage that you were granted, or does it reflect the next higher? Okay, so there's some things that we as veterans or you can do. If you get the copy of the Cnp exam, you look at the general rating criteria for the mental conditions, and that exam matches up with 30, 40, 30, 50, 70% or whatever. But a supplemental claim, understand what a supplemental claim is. You previously denied, now you come back in and reopen it. You were not denied service connection for anxiety. Harold, hello, sir. Hello. Again, that's the link. That's the link to my YouTube channel. I'll be posting that throughout. I'll be posting that throughout the tonight, so you'll have it, and you can go to my website. I'm sorry, not my website, but to my YouTube channel and find videos real easy. Okay. Gene, hey, thanks for the super chat again. Thanks for the donation, Gene. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir. Spread the word, KMD 9 consultant, leave no vet behind. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate the shout out and the support. Let's see. Clinton says, I advise everyone file an intent to file if you plan on filing this year. VA Form 21-0996. Hey, Clinton, definitely agree. But also, you can actually call in to 800-827-1000 and inform them that you want to do an intent to file for compensation over the phone. And where else can you find how to do that? In the description section of all my YouTube videos. Okay. Now, when you do that, you might want to follow up a couple of days later to see if that person actually put that note in your claims file. Okay. And then you want to be on the lookout because you should be receiving something in the mail saying that we received your request for an intent to file for compensation on this day. And if you're awarded, service connection, this is a possible effective date. Okay. So when you do that, you want to make sure you follow up. I had a friend of mine didn't do it, eventually got service connected. He says, hey, they didn't go back to this date. I'm like, so what do you have to prove that you did that intent to file? He was like, nothing. Called in. They was like, nope, we have nothing on record. So you always want to make sure you follow up. Okay. If you call in, you do something, you want to make sure you follow up. Even if you submit the 0996, you can follow up a week later. Was it received? Is it in my file? Just don't assume that it is. Okay. Had enough of the VA back and forth, change the stories when calling, filed a congressional last week. The VA tried to do the standard reply, and my rep called about, one thing I did, I filed a complaint, and I asked for a supervisor to call me, and again, understand, you know, VA employees, they're all different. If you get a VA employee that's an advocate for veterans, I think you have a better response. If you get a VA employee that's not advocates for veterans, then the response or the feedback may not be as great. And a lot of people may knock me for saying that there are some VA employees that are not advocates. That's my opinion. I think that there are some that are not, but I think the majority of them are advocates for veterans, because if they all were, then veterans wouldn't be having so much frustration with this process. But we as veterans, we have to take some of that responsibility ourselves. Are we submitting the right paperwork? Not saying that anybody isn't, but we want to make sure that you're educated and you're doing things the right way. Okay. And still, you may have some issues. It took me 4 years as a rating specialist to maximize my benefits, and that was, really frustrating. Okay. Hi, CamD89. Good to hear from you. How can 0% hearing loss be connected to sleep disturbance as secondary? EOE, I'm not a medical professional. Could that be secondary? I don't know, because I'm not a medical professional. But I would ask EOE, have you went out and did some research, maybe to the Mayo Clinic, maybe did a Google search to see if sleep disturbance can be secondary to hearing loss? That I do not know. So I don't want to provide any medical advice, because I'm no medical professional. And I've never seen it claimed or granted secondary to hearing loss, not saying that it can't be. I just never seen it. But again, make sure you do your research, because if there is something, medical literature out there, or medical study that was performed to make that connection, you want to do your research and find it. K Diesel, I'm 40 days in on HLR, 30 days in. The VSO makes a decision, then same day says error, 6 days later states asserted difference of opinion. However, you know, th- all that information will have to be looked at. If you have a VSO and they have access to your claims folder, then they can go in there and see exactly what's going on. And even still, sometimes it's hard to dissect what's going on, because you'll be thinking, well, wait a minute, I did everything the right way. What are they thinking? And the only person that's doing the claim knows what they're thinking. So I can't, just off the top of my head, it could be so many reasons and things I've been seeing. You call it errors, on things that I'm not going to say it shouldn't be errors, but more information will need to be reviewed to answer that question. C files coming in the mail. So far, waiting 4 weeks. Okay. Gene, let's get those thumbs up. Folks, Dwayne offers his free advice and positive results. Let's show our appreciation. I appreciate it. Man, it seems like it's been a while since I've been on here. I think it's been about 3 weeks, but I want to switch the week. So I'm back on track now. Lee family, granted P&T 4 months later. VA said my private DBQ had wrong DSM edition used. I think you left me a YouTube comment on that, if I'm not mistaken. My phone was not expired either. VA sent me for a new Cnp exam. I decided not to go and advise them. I used correct DBQ. Granted P&T for Ms. Hey, well, congratulations, first of all. And good thing that, you called them out on that. And, one thing that I've been seeing is some, ready to say, oh, the doctor didn't state that it was done per the DSM-5. And for those of you that can remember, saw this video, I interviewed a mental health professional, and we talked on the side, and I said, hey, when you did complete these DBQs, are you doing it per the DSM-5? And his explanation was clear. He's like, yeah, because, of X, Y, Z. He gave his opinion on it. And he was like, even if a doctor doesn't state that when they give a diagnosis, a list of diagnosis on their DBQ, they have to go into the DSM-5. So therefore, they have to complete the form per the DSM-5. And I think it's just some VA employees That's just their personal preference. Okay. And they shouldn't let their personal preference come in to play when adjudicating claims, because I've seen DBQs that didn't have on there that it was completed per the DSM-5. I've seen some DBQs even from Cnp examiners, but for some reason, some VA employees are holding private doctors to a higher standard, and they shouldn't. So, Lee family, good job. Call them out, sticking to your guns, and congratulations. ZL, I complained of sleep problems when I was in service 15 years ago, but did not get sleep studied and instructed sleep apnea diagnosed until this month. What do you think are my chances for prior connection? I would say, that would be direct service connection. For direct service connection, you need 3 elements: current diagnosis, a link in service, which you have. If it's documented, you complain of sleep problems. Now you just need that nexus to connect the current sleep apnea to the sleep problems in service. Okay. So are you getting a DBQ done, or are you having a private physician to do it, or are you going to the Cnp exam? But again, if you go to a VA Cnp exam, how do you reasonably articulate your symptomology as it pertains to sleep problems in service to the current diagnosis of sleep apnea? Only you can do that. Did you have sleep apnea back then? Could have been. You could have been it, but who really knew of sleep apnea, back then? But you as a veteran, you have to reasonably articulate your symptomology as it pertains to the current diagnosis of sleep apnea and the sleep problems in service. Clayton Richardson, hi Dwayne. How you doing, Clayton? I was denied headache secondary to left shoulder pain. I have documentation of headaches 2 or 3 times a week. They start on my left side, working shoulder, up neck, and around my head. Okay. So, Clayton, did you go to a Cnp exam? Do you have a copy of your claims file with that Cnp exam in there? What did the rationale, what's in the rationale? Why did that doctor say no? What was their reasoning for them saying no? So, Clayton, again, do you have a copy of the claims file? Why did that doctor say no? I would be curious, before moving forward, why did that doctor say no? Is there medical literature? Are there studies showing that your left shoulder pain could cause migraines? Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't, it can't, or anything like that, but is there something out there that that's medical literature, medical studies? Okay, so what do? Go out there and do that. One, I would say look at that exam and then go out and see if there is any connection between left shoulder pain and headaches. Tom Patrick, I was just denied and believe the VSO did not submit my nexus letter. Is not in the denial report as evidence. Okay, so I talked about following up. When you have if you have a VSO to submit stuff for you, I think there should be a conversation between you and that VSO. And if you know that they submitted it for you, follow up with the VA. Call 800-827-1000 and say, hey, did you receive this? But you were denied the nexus letter. What about the DBQ? Did you have a DBQ to go along with it? Did you have a Cnp exam? Do you have a copy of that Cnp exam? So I'm going to go ahead and put my YouTube channel back in the chat window. Okay. For everybody. Annette Baker, what happens if you placed your claim in back in February 2021? I had your Cnp exam in October 20. I still have not heard anything. Any suggestion on the time? It just depends. Everybody, it's some claims. A friend of mine did a direct upload on a Monday. His claim was for a secondary condition. Did a direct upload, and that's why I did that video, because when he told me what he did, I was like, man, let me tell other veterans about this direct upload. Uploaded the claim on a Monday. He called me that Friday saying, hey, wait a minute, I got this small amount of money in my checking account. I said, hey, go to log in to benefits and click on the disabilities tab. Lo and behold, there it was, that condition, service connected. Everybody's claim is different. It's and I think it depends on the location that's, the location that's had the regional office that's handling your claim. are you submitting any additional evidence? Are they going out for any additional development that could prolong the claim? Did you tell them to go out and look for to obtain any private medical evidence? Those things like that could extend the claim. But personally, do I know why? I can't answer that question. And that Melvin Smith, hello everyone. How you doing, Melvin? Melvin DK, we playing phone tag. You know what? Okay, I recognize that name. You were on the make sure you give me a call in the morning. I do still have the consult. So yeah, Melvin, let's definitely connect. Yeah, so I do recognize it, and I do remember from earlier in the week. Harold, 80% with 70% major depressive disorder, and okay. Great evening, Dwayne. Thanks for what you do, sir. Not a problem. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. Dennis, what is involvement of two or major joints or two or more minor joint groups, like examples? So major joints, you're looking at ankles, knees, hips, back, neck, shoulders, elbows, and wrists. And then let's just say the minor joints, like in your fingers, like these joints right here in your fingers. I can't think of the name of them. They call like MCP, MPC, or something like that. And then you have them in your toes as well. Those will be considered minor joints. Thumbs up, vets. Let's show our support. Got 69 people, 70 people in here. We're growing. The real Ace Town. Hello, Dwayne. I just got a decision back from urinary frequency and incontinence. Secondary it to my sciatic, service connection sciatica. Can I secondary ED to and drop foot? You can. Keep in mind, when you file a claim for secondary service connection, you can claim anything secondary. But again, the link, how is it connected? Okay. So you have to keep that in mind. And again, the real Ace Town, I'm not a medical professional, so I can't say, oh, you can claim this secondary and you definitely will get service connected. I've seen some things that I didn't think that ever would be given a positive opinion secondary to. And a doctor, says that it is. And I read the rationale and I'm like, wow, I never knew that. Okay. So it's I would say if you have a private physician, I would ask that physician, it may be if I can get a physician to come on to maybe answer some of these questions that because they're they're qualified. I'm not, because there could be some medical literature out there, some studies that were done. Okay. Ned says, hello, everyone. Kenneth, good evening. KMD 89. I just logged on. How do I go about obtaining my C file? Kenneth, in the description section of all my videos. Click that show more, and I list in there how I did it. Frank, bladder cancer is now on the list. I filed in 2016 for it. How do I get them to look at it? I was denied 2 months later. It was approved. So bladder cancer is what? Like a presumptive, when you say on the list, what list? Like Agent Orange exposure is on 30, is under 38 CFR 3.309, subpart E, tropical diseases. So Frank, what list are you saying? Our shed. Hey, thanks for this the support. Having trouble finding a reference to this. What DBQ should I use for the following condition? Insomnia would be mental, urinary incontinence would be genitourinary, and IBS should be under digestive. So those three. Carlos, I have a private doctor, medical opinion for my nexus with suggested disability rating and being sent to LHI for DBQs. So you have IMO, but do you have a DBQ to go along with it? So the VA knows with residuals, LHI for DBQs for the conditions. Would that be just for symptoms or is that full medical exam? For what I've been seeing, Carlos, is more than likely is for the full medical exam, especially since you didn't submit the DBQ. Thank you for what you do. Not a problem. It's my passion. Good evening. How you doing, Carmen? Ray. Hey, Dwayne, glad I caught you live, and I'm still waiting on my 4-year, and I think it's been since July last year. Went to VA. They weren't letting people in the building. Go back and look at my video from Can You File a Complaint with the VA? I did it December 27th, 2020. Indianapolis, yeah. So go to my YouTube, go to this link. Okay, that's my YouTube channel. Just type in complaint. Click on the video tab and then type on complaint. Let me share my screen right quick so I can show everyone how to do that. Give me 1 second, everyone. I want to go to my YouTube channel. Well, wait a minute. I'll share my screen so everyone can see how to when you go to my channel, how to pull it up. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen right quick. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Where did it go? Everything froze. Okay, if everybody can still hear me, my screen just froze on me. So bear with me. Give me 1 second, everyone. I'm sorry. For some reason, everything locked up on me. Shouldn't have tried that. Okay. So I don't know if everybody can still hear me. Hopefully you can. My screen is locked. So I can't get to the comments or anything like that. But I just want to give it a few seconds. But I just want to talk about what Ray was talking about as it pertains to getting a copy of the claims folder. Again, there's no, I don't think that there's, hold on, everyone. Okay. All right. Here we go. Sorry about that. For some reason, it went crazy. My screen. Okay. So here we go. All right. So I was talking about how do you go to my YouTube channel and look at define videos. Okay. So you can see over here, I'm subscribed to YouTube channels as well. But this is my YouTube channel. Okay. So when you click that link that I put in the description section of each video, in the chat window, when you get here, go to videos. Okay. Right here, you'll have a search window. So if you want to find some videos, let's say complaint, type in complaint, let's see what comes up. Okay. All right. Okay. So here's the video that I'm talking about right here at the top. VA claims process. Can you submit an inquiry or complaint with the VA White House hotline complaint? I'll talk about how I went about, calling and filing a complaint because they were taking a long time with my request for a claims folder. Okay. So let's type in RFE, routine future exams. Okay. That's a big one. Okay. Here's some videos I did on that. VA claims RFE, future exams. Let's just type in P&T. There's another one, right? So let's see P&T. What comes up? How to obtain P&T? What is it, and how can you identify it? So if you just scroll down, there's some other things in there as well. But so when you ask me about did I do this video, come right here to my channel, click on the videos link. You'll see all my videos right there that I've done. Okay, several. Okay, a lot of them. So then you click on the hourglass, and then you go ahead and you type in the topic or subject that you're looking for. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this Q&A. Bobby Vest, take control of your claim. There you go. You have to. You got to take control of it. Stay on it. You get out what you put in. If you don't put anything in, don't expect too much to come out. Couple of no thumbs up. Let's hit it, folks. Thanks, Gene. Appreciate it. Derwin, happy Black History Month, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, sir. I did not have a Cnp exam. I did have a DBQ filled out by my primary care. Okay. So next question, Tom, was it actionable and sufficient? But again, in some of the videos I talked about in the past was the VA, some VA employees are using the veterans DBQs, even though it's actionable and sufficient, and some are not. And I did a video last year in November, where I talked about why aren't adjudicators using veterans DBQs. Okay. I've had some clients that had issues that submitted DBQs with nexus statements that were actionable and sufficient. And it's just a hot mess with the VA with that right now. Again, I think it just depends on the VA employee's desk that it lands on. Dennis, I was able to get my left hip arthritis secondary to the service-connected right ankle without having to get a doctor nexus. I'm still in shock. Wow. Okay. Hey, thanks for the support. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you again for informing all the veterans, including KMD 89. Not a problem. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. ED, difficult to get. I would say it's difficult to get, but again, under the 5 ways of service connection, how are you claiming it? Okay, that's important. And that you understand the criteria for those 5 ways. Okay. Is it true that it's more work for a rater to deny a claim than, depends on the rater that you ask. When I rated, I had a certain rating style. I was like, man, I just got to give the veteran the benefit of the doubt. If I didn't feel comfortable denying that claim due to, if I needed more evidence or some type of clarification, I would not deny that claim. I would make sure I went out, make sure that all the development was good to go. But I would say this, ZL, if the vet submitted, let's just say an actual DBQ and nexus statement, and all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed, man, it is so easy to grant that benefit. Okay. But still, there are veterans out there that do not understand what makes a DBQ and nexus statement sufficient. I've had clients submit claims for the first time with no evidence at all and get the first rating decision 80, 90% right off the bat. So every claim is different. And then also that human factor at the VA. Okay. But raters are different. They're different. My hubby has PTSD 7% and is on multiple meds, and the docs say they cannot say that his PTSD meds cause ED, even though he has to take RX prescription Viagra. Okay, so Wendy, Google the medication. What are the side effects of this medication? What are the residuals of this medication? And see if ED is on there. Go out to the Mayo Clinic, see if there's been is there medical literature or studies done by medical professionals saying that prescription causes this. And if your husband filed a claim, was denied, went to a Cnp exam, do you have a copy of that Cnp exam? Because in there, it'll have a medical opinion with the rationale. The doctor has to state why. Okay. Okay, Mob, I appreciate it. Go, Mob. Thanks for the support. Thank you, Dwayne, and we appreciate what you are doing for our fellow vets. Looking forward to your educational packet. Okay, not a problem. Okay. Roger, we hear you, sir. Okay, Harold. Loud and clear. Okay, so I'm just catching up, everybody. Jody and Stovall, thank you for your motivation. Not a problem. It's my passion to educate veterans because I don't want other veterans to go through go through what I went through and have the same level of frustration that I had. Appreciate all your help, Dwayne. Thanks, not a problem. Anthony Harris, hey, super sticker, hey, thanks for the support. I definitely appreciate it, sir. Have you seen a stronger argument for depression, for sleep apnea, or bilateral knee conditions? Not really understand that question, Jody. Um, depression, or how are you claiming these conditions? Are you claiming it pre-service aggravation, direct, secondary? It just depends on how you claim it, and can you explain it? Again, is there, depending on how you're claiming it, is there any medical literature out there, especially, as it pertains to if it's under secondary, okay? Anthony Jones, hello. How you doing, sir? Dwayne, I see it. Thank you. Okay, I see it. Thank you so much. Okay, hey, not a problem. Jody, are you saying depression, secondary sleep apnea? Yep. I had the same question. I had to, again, how are you claiming it? Hello, if I'm not 100% in SMC, I now have Parkinson tremors. Should I submit claim or leave it be? Thanks. Frank, where does Parkinson fall under the 5 ways of service connection for you? I know that Parkinson's is a presumptive, Agent Orange presumptive on the 38 CFR 3.309 subpart E. But again, how are you claiming it under 5 ways of service connection? And everybody, I've done several videos on the 5 ways of service connection. One of my first videos, and I did not understand YouTube from the standpoint of lighting, this, that, and other, but the information is there. I did series step 1, step 2, step 3 of the VA claims process year before last year. I just showed everyone how to do a search. So if you go out and look at first step, type in first step in when you get to my YouTube channel, and you can find those videos. And I talk about the 5 ways of service connection. Excuse me. Okay. Wesley, 100% PNT here, 5-year scheduler RFE in March. Can I bring a paper copy of PTSD review to my VA provided doctor? Why not? Are you asking your VA doctor to complete a DBQ? And I'm going to upload a video on this topic Monday, where I'm talking about you're 100%, but you're not permanent and total. What can you do and why not? And what can you do to speed that up? And Wesley, I'm talking about this specific topic that you're, this specific question that you're asking. Okay. So make sure you check out that video. If you're subscribed, you'll get notified. I think I got it scheduled to be uploaded Monday, 5 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. 80% down with 100% depressive disorder and claustrophobia. So I try for PTSD. You already service connected for a mental condition. Mental is mental. They're not going to grant you 70% for major depressive disorder and another 50% for PTSD. If I filed a claim for PTSD, they're going to take it as an increase for your service-connected major depressive disorder. Army George at 92%. Hey, you're almost there. Have 2 claims in process. Let's rock. Done this myself within a year through education on your YouTube channel. Hey, there it is. Stay with it. You're like 0.3% from there. You're 92. Need to get to 95. So glad to hear that you're supporting my channel and that these videos have helped you get this far in that short amount of time. The Seattle Black veteran, keep up the good work, sir. Not a problem. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Definitely much appreciated. Carlos, why I have a 0% and I have a scar. Is the scar painful? If you look in the rating decision, all rating decisions, they have to tell you by law why you didn't qualify or what was not warranted, the reason why you were not warranted the next higher evaluation for that condition they service connected you for. Okay. So you have to go back. You got to keep your rating decisions, people. I can't tell you how many veterans I talked to. They're like, oh, I moved. I got my rating claims folder right here. Okay. I have a CD that I keep in a fireproof safe, but I also keep this right in my office. This is my claims folder. You may think that this is a lot. This is not a lot. I've seen veterans with, I got 2 volumes. I've seen veterans with up to 10 to 15 volumes. Okay. So I keep that right there, and I do have all that on CD. And I just got something from the VA not too long ago. Where did I put it? Right on the top. It's going right in that folder. Okay. Oh, do you recommend purchasing the book CFR and a medical diagnosis book? No, because all that stuff is out there on Google. You can find medical literature easy. There shouldn't be a reason to purchase the CFR. It's on the VA's website. I've done classes in that on how to do research on the M21. I think last month or December, my Veterans Roundtable, I took the people that signed up for it. I took through and was showing them how to research the M21, the 38 CFR, and stuff like that. So you can do it. You got to put a little work in. Did claim examiner get reprimand for overlooking evidence, which would grant it? Nope, not at all. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, no, I don't think anything happens to it. If scar is not painful, it would be 0%. Yep, you are correct. Okay, somebody knows that. What is it? Okay, Mr. Du Bois one. I see you. You came in. You got a couple of comments, so you got me curious now. So, what is the diagnostic code for the painful scar? Okay, I get here in the 7. I know you know it. So you got me thinking now. You're giving these answers. You got me thinking. Cecil, can I still make claims for razor bumps if I've been out for 3 years, but I had a profile back of my head and my chin? Yep, sure can. There's no time limit. Wendy, how do we get a copy of the Cnp exam? Wendy, go to the description section of this video. Any video that I did, especially from 2021, I list how I got a copy of it verbatim. The form I use, where I sent, what I put on that form, and where I faxed it, mailed it, all that stuff. It's in the description section. Go to my videos, show more. When you go to the videos, click show more, and all this information will pop up. Okay. Current treatment and diagnosis is the key. Okay. Seattle Black Veteran, 100% permanent total IU. Congrats. I just got a letter from the VA stating I have a claim in for my foot, both feet. I'm already maxed out for both feet. That would be up to you. A lot of veterans, they do. I was 100% permanent total. I filed some additional claims, and I wasn't worried about them going back and looking at everything because I knew all my stuff was on the up and up. But that would be a decision that you would have to make if you want to move forward with that. Pamela Graham, are depression and anxiety rated together? Mental is mental. If you go to the rating schedule, it says general rating scheduler, mental general rating schedule, meaning the criteria for 10% for PTSD and anxiety, or 10% for depression, criteria for depression, 10% criteria for depression is the same criteria for anxiety. Mental is mental. Try to get through some of these questions. Okay. Biggie B, good morning, sir. Okay. Well, you must be in Europe somewhere, I presume. I'm 70% disabled for mental health and other issues. I like to file for TDIU. I have multiple house rentals under my name. Does the VA look at this as income? I can't work, disabled. Yeah, well, what's on your tax return? Well, first, understand what TDIU is, the criteria. So I'm assuming you already know what that is. So then you cannot make more than the poverty level. So if you got all this rental income and you like Ray Cardone, the rental guru, and yeah, they're going to say, that could affect it, because if you're claiming the income, the monies that you're receiving from the rental, you're claiming that as income, that could push you out of the poverty threshold. Okay. Where can a widow, Lori, where can a widow go for help on claims started by a veteran before death? He was 37 disabled, and it seems I don't qualify for anything. Very frustrating. If he was, well, the claim still should be active. It still should go through the process, even though the veterans deceased. Call the VA and still see if that claim is active. 800-827-1000. Yep, Mr. Du Bois. Yeah, you got me. You answer these questions. You know, I'm almost about to ask you. Ask the question. Pamela, depression and anxiety is all mental. That is correct. Won't get more for anxiety than you will for the. Yep, that is correct. Yep. So it's rated together and not separate. Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question, Mr. What's the diagnostic code, Mr. Du Bois, for the painful scar? Benny, hey, good to see Benny. Benny was in Veterans Roundtable, I believe, last month. I think you're back in Europe now from Hawaii. Thank you for all you do for us vets. And thank you, Benny, for the donation and the support. Being in the roundtables, definitely appreciate it. Wesley, I'm sorry, I meant to a VA community private psychological doctor, Ptsd civilian doctor. Yeah, they can complete those, but again, you got to make sure that's completed correctly. Some will do it, the VA, some won't. Army George, thank you for the support, the super sticker, the donation. Thank you. What does being on the docket mean at BVA? It's on the docket. It's coming up for review. Or, if you ask for a hearing with the judge. My private doc therapist is laying writing my nexus in DBQ. Should I be concerned yet? I have been seeing her since October, November, every 2 weeks, faithfully for mental health anxiety. Reach out to them. Say, hey, they could have cold feet. Some doctors are busy. She could have cold feet, but you got to ask that question. All right, we got 103 people in here. Let's get these thumbs up, everyone. Annette, is PTSD and MST two separate claims? No. If they grant the MST, it'll read, sorry about that, PTSD / MST. If I get TDIU and get 100% later from schedule rating, am I still restricted from working? Wondering if nope. So if you go from 100% TDIU to 100% permanent total scheduler, then 100% permanent total is the greater benefit. So the requirements for TDIU will no longer be in effect. It could be a variety of scars. Okay. So painful scars should fall under, I almost said 7005. I mean, that's coronary artery disease. 7805, painful scar. Check it out, Mr. Du Bois. Let me know. So I'm going to, I'm going to go out on a limb here, Mr. Du Bois, and ask you this question. I don't want to, scare you off or anything, but are you a rating specialist or decision review officer? Just curious. 30 CFR 4.124A states that if you have 12 or more epilepsy and seizures is 100%. My rate for this did 621, went to 80%. Should have been 100% based on this criteria. What else could I do, sir? Not working. Depending on what you want to do with your claim. Again, if you had a Cnp exam for that, what did that doctor mark? Did the doctor mark the 100% criteria in that Cnp exam or the 80%? Do you have a copy of it? Then you can go look at the diagnostic code criteria for that service-connected condition, and then look at the Cnp exam to see, okay, where in the Cnp exam is the 100% criteria, and did the doctor mark that information? Rent is not earned income, does not count like dividends. Okay, so on the your tax return, what is your total income? Your total income for the year, and then you look at the poverty threshold, because there are different requirements for the poverty threshold. Single veteran with spouse, and number of kids. Is it over the poverty threshold? That's how you could check that, meaning your income that you report. Parkinson's is presumptive from my question before the file. Azorn's presumptive, Frank? That's the question I had. Hey, ZL, thank you for the support. Thank you for the definition. I'm sorry, donation. I said definition. Thanks for donation. Much appreciated. So we got about 10 more minutes. Try to go ahead and get through all these questions. Are headaches rated different than migraines? No. They're rated on their diagnostic code 8100. Body system is the neurological body system. And that Baker L90.5 code for painful scar. Should be 7005, unless they change it. Excuse me. A pain scar is my finger. I can't move it. Thank you. All right. There are hundreds. So, hey, thank you for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. And also, I'm going to put my the link to my YouTube channel in the chat window. I've been sticking that in there periodically so everyone can see that. Biggie B, how often should I see my psych doctor to upkeep my mental records? Some vets say every month, one a year. I'm trying to find a medium. I'm okay seeing them with once a year. I don't like talk about my problems. Hey, definitely understand that. If you're service connected, there's no regulation that states if you're service connected, you still have to continue to get treatment. If someone says that, ask them to show you regulation. Someone asked me that, and I searched the VA 38 CFR and M21, and I couldn't find anything. That would be up to you. I don't tell people, oh, you should go once a month. You should go once a quarter or only once a year. That would be up to you. But are you trying to do? My question, Biggie B, are you 100%? Did someone say, hey, you have to continue to get treatment? But that would be up to you. The divide, can you report a Cnp examiner if they rush you through the evaluation? You can, but will it make a difference? No. A lot of them do it. I shared my thoughts of why I stopped going to Cnp exams because I had an issue with a couple of examiners, filed a complaint against one. Of course, nothing happened, but I looked at that was a means to an end. And after that, I just, I started doing DBQs. Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, are knee compressions considered assisted device? I'm not a medical professional. I would assume that they would be a compression sleeve. Is it? Did you get it from or prescribed it, or did you get it from a medical doctor, a physical therapist, or something like that? But I would say yes. Now, compression sleeve, if you like, they have like the Under Armour ones that you put on your arm or something. Could there be assistant device? Yeah, but again, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't want to respond in that fashion because I'm not. I would say yes, but again, I'm not a medical professional. Yeah, he is, Ray. I was like, okay, yeah, he is. He was throwing out some nuggets there, so that's why I asked him questions. And Mr. Du Bois, I'm not trying to put you out there on Front Street or call you out, but I recognize that like Ray did. But thanks for answering those questions because I agree with what your answers were, and so other veterans saw that as well. Wesley, thanks, Dwayne. You are a good man. Hey, not a problem. Appreciate it. Getting out soon. Will I still need to seek treatment to avoid ratings below? I don't. I've been seeing this. So where are veterans getting this from? That you have to get treatment for service-connected conditions even after you get 100%. What regulation do you see that? There's some things that, I'm 100% PNT and some things that I no longer get treatment for. Who says that you can't self-treat on certain things? So someone please share that regulation. Okay, here we go. Yes, started at file clerk and moved my way through the race. I kind of thought that, but so I don't want to put you on Front Street. But Mr. Du Bois, I got a question for you. Help me out here. Just had Wesley ask me. No, I'm sorry. Eddie stated, continue to seek treatment if they're 100% PT. I cannot find where you have to. I'm like I said, I'm 100% PNT. Some things I don't get treatment for. I don't think that there's a 38 CFR. But shout out to Mr. Du Bois for answering that question. I asked, was he a RVSR? I said, yeah. Mr. Du Bois, so I don't know if you know, I'm a previous RVSR myself, and I hired in as a rater. And man, I'm going to tell you how tough it was my first year of rating by not being a claims agent, a CA, and or VSR. Rough. I mean, I was like mentally drained for a whole year after. But thank you, for answering some of these questions. But I got a question, Mr. Du Bois. I hate to call you out, but I just, because I know things have, so ratings has changed since I was a rater, and I'm pretty sure that quota is still there. I was a rater back when you had to meet a monthly quota, and then it went to biweekly quota. But a question, Mr. Du Bois, why aren't some raters using DBQs, private DBQs from veterans that are actionable and sufficient? And is it due to the VSR scheduling the exams? I'm kind of confused on that. And I get a lot of questions on that. So just help me out. Okay, we got about a couple of minutes left. So I'm going to try to get going through some of these questions. CAMD, can cervical degenerative arthritis be connected to the lumbar, lower back? Yeah, it can. I've seen it. But again, go out there and do the research. Medical literature, has there been medical studies on that? But it can. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure some medical professionals may say no. I'm not, so I can't say definitely, but I've seen it connected. Again, there's my link to my YouTube channel. I'll stick it in the comment box. Again, can heels and Achilles tendons be claimed to knees and ankles service connected injuries despite no record in my heels and Achilles? Yes, you can file anything secondary, but again, go out there and do that research. Look at the medical literature, okay? A doctor is going to have to provide a positive opinion. They're going to have to provide a rationale if they provide a positive and or negative opinion. I've seen somebody claim left big toe secondary to tinnitus and actually get service connected for it. And I was like, what? And I looked at the rating of the rationale. I was like, oh, wow. The way that it started with the way the veteran was able to reasonably articulate that symptomology. And the doctor agreed with it. And I was like, wow, okay. How can I donate? Thank you. Someone let him know. I don't, because the screen that I'm looking at, but I've seen it should be like a dollar sign somewhere. So if somebody that previously donated can explain to him or her, I'm sorry, how you do that, because the screen I'm looking at, I'm like in a studio version, so I'm not seeing what everyone else is seeing out there. Can VA reduce PNT with no RFE for not attending requested Cnp exam for necessary corrective action needed due to wrong DSM used on private DBQ? Possibly. I would have to see more information, but why not go back and have the examiner state, oh, it was done per DSM-5. Now they know that it was done per the correct DSM-5. Service connected for lower back pain, degenerative disc disease, 10% was seen for lower back pain with ridiculous. September 7 was seen for lumbar radiculopathy, 2021. Do I need a nexus for my doctor for service connection for the back? And when you say nexus and you're trying to get service connected for something that you're going to need a DBQ, because for the back, they're going to have to measure that range of motion. So a DBQ is going to have to go along, is going to have to be accompanied with that. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. I don't want to get that pronunciation wrong. I do apologize. Good evening. Can I file both migraine, headache, secondary, sleep apnea, and also file the second? Yes, you can. They would have to go out for two separate medical opinions. When you're active duty, get treated by a private provider on the TRICARE, is your treatment record sent out to TRICARE? That I don't know. But if you do get treatment from a private doctor while you're on active duty, ask the person or the doctor, whoever, that's sent out for that referral. And also, it might not be a bad idea to sign a medical release form, but request those medical records from that private doctor. So you have those in your possession. So when you do file that claim, and let's just say that information doesn't get back, from that private doctor, you have a copy of it. Okay. All right. Salute from Panama, 100% PNT plus SMCS. Never quit. Stay safe. Yep, we're part of Panama. I went there, did some jungle training flew into Panama City, crossed that big bridge, saw the Panama Canal, and went over to Cologne. Spent a few weeks in the jungle. Very different, a nice country. Haven't heard of that. I can say if you do put in for an increase, please make sure you have your current treatment. Yep. Okay. Wendy, if you are PNT, no, they cannot take it from you. But if you are just 100%, they can. Uh, they can, Wendy. You don't see it that often. Vet is 100% PNT. I've seen it a few times, a handful of times. But again, being educated not only on the VA claims process, but how the VA claims process can affect what you're doing. So when you submit stuff, even after you become 100% PNT, just know what you're doing. Okay, that's very important. All right, everyone. We're right at that hour. I'm trying to get through these questions kind of quick, so I do apologize. I have MND and anxiety that prevents me from working. Could I file for increase to IU based on service connected conditions cause MDD anxiety? Thank you, Dwayne. So IU, when you fill out that 8940, it's going to ask you for what service connected conditions keep you from gainful employment. IU is not a standalone claim. They take it as a claim for increase. So understand that. So again, how do you reasonably articulate how your MDD prevents you from working? Okay, but just understand IU is not a standalone claim. It's a claim for increase. Carlos, hello. If the VA denied me PTSD, but they're threatening me with simulation pills that are for anxiety. Okay, why would they deny? Okay, so Carlos, two separate things. You're talking about VHA, that's the healthcare. Then you got VBA, two separate divisions within the VA. So that doctor on the healthcare side at the Cnp office gave a negative opinion. That doesn't mean that when you go seek treatment, they had to say you got depression. That could be, or PTSD. So two separate divisions, if you will, benefits and healthcare. Harold Jackson, I filed in 2005, got the okay in 2020. Shouldn't they have gone back? I would have to look at more information. Is there a gap? Because you have 365 days for an appeal. So if you let that expire, then it's like that claim starts over. Here's a link to my YouTube channel. I'll put it in the chat again. Okay. All right. Super sticker. Hey, thanks, Annette, for the donation. I believe in Jesus Christ. Thank you for this. Not a problem. You're welcome. How far behind are the VA claims processes? Weeks or months? That I don't know. Only those executive level individuals at the VA will know how far, and rated 100% per total. I checked my summary benefits letter. It does not state I have IU. I have not worked since 2012. So I apply. Why? You're 100% PNT. Why? That's the question I have. Because some private DBQs will complete DBQ for knee and back and neck, which you need range of motion measured by a gon. It needs to be also stated it was measured by a gonometer. So those are a lot where we get kickbacks. Also for asthma, they will perform DBQs. Okay. My VSO said she can't file for complete work disability since I have temporary 100% due to bladder cancer, follow-up active prostate cancer, Vietnam, very big red one. Yeah, so that would be a temporary 100% unless the doctor states that it's terminal. Denied rhinitis and sinusitis decision stated did not arose during active duty nor diagnosed within 10 years. Favorable findings confirmed presumptive connection. Chronic fatigue clearly has several entries for upper respiratory infection. Anyway, I would have to see that Cnp exam if you had one. If you had a Cnp exam, I have to see what that doctor stated. The rationale was 100% PTSD is due to PTSD. Let me go back to that question. I check my summary benefits. Yeah, so if you're 100% PNT, will be the reason for IU. What is PNT? Permanent total. I just did a video on that. What is it? I did a video last week. So if you go to my YouTube channel, I was just sharing the link and you type in PNT, you'll see the latest video that I did. What is PNT? What is the fastest way to get there? Answer 3 questions. What is PNT? Oh, yeah. What is PNT? What is the fastest way to get there? And how do you identify it in a rating decision? Alexa, just go out, check out my YouTube channel, and I did a video on that. I don't have an answer for that. I'm sorry. That's my Alexa over here going off. I'm 100% total combined. All my conditions are static except one, which hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Static except one, which is migraines, which is rated 50% non-static. How do I get this one to static? Wilfredo, what did they say? Do you have a routine future for that? Do you have a copy of your claims folder? Do you have a future exam that's noted on the rating code sheet? Also, in the rating decision that granted the 50% for migraines, does it say since there's a likelihood of improvement? At the bottom, sentence starts off with that. Check that out. What that means is you have a routine future for that. Is there a way to check on your claim once you have your Cnp exam? Yeah, you can call them, Victor, but they're going to say, hey, it's being processed and order received. Thumbs up, everyone. Yep. Thanks. Not a problem. My apologies for not putting everything together. I'm rated 100% PNT for PTSD. Have not worked since. Should I apply for IU or leave this? If you apply for IU, you're already 100% PNT. When you're 100% PNT, that's the greater benefit over the IU. So I'm not understanding why even apply for IU. I'm not saying not to, but I just don't understand that the thought process behind that. Thank you for your answer, Mr. Kimball. God bless. I have a claim for GERD increase and new for IBS and one for diverticulitis. Okay, go out there and look at those diagnostic codes, criteria. Would it something to be on the mental? Yes. Dwayne, thanks so much, man, for your continued assistance to us and all the information. Not a problem. You're welcome. Yes, I have a future exam. Okay. I don't see why they would do that. Just curious. Got a video coming up that I'm talking about that I think will shed a little bit more light on that, Wilfredo. But do you have a copy of your Cnp exam? Sometimes raters, if they, maybe rushing and they may forget to remove that routine future exam. I've seen it. They're rushing. They're on a quota, and they just forget. Okay. So, hey, everyone, that's all the questions. We're 8 minutes over the time. I hope I was able to get everyone's questions answered. Don't forget, I do this every other Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button so you'll get notified when I go live. But it's every other Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also every third Thursday of the month, I have my Veterans Roundtable. Next month, I'm having a representative with Vet Jobs. So if you go to vetjobs.com, it's a nonprofit. They do a lot of things for veterans. I'm having them come on to talk about some of the services that they provide for free to veterans. So if you go to vetjobs.com, worked with them in the past, and we're going to have a representative come on this month, February the 3rd, Thursday of this month at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always on my website, I haven't scheduled it yet. Might do that tomorrow so people can sign up. So I will talk about it again on the next live stream. I think we have another live stream before that. Just a couple late questions. Free agent 97. I'm active duty. If I look, let's see. If I look on TRICARE online and see the diagnosis, is that enough evidence? Yes, for direct service connection. Cnp exam found favorable diagnosis for rhinitis and site examiner noted, stated an opinion. It is manifest in service. My own CNP exam that was submitted was not part. Let's talk about that, Benny, offline, because if you had treatment in service, that's the link, and the doctor, not favorable diagnosis, gave you a diagnosis, what was the medical opinion? Was it least likely as not? And the doctor gave a rationale. That's what I'm curious about. So let's connect offline, Benny, because I got some other questions for that. Let's see. If I got a rating back in 07, do you think it's too late to go back and do a form 4138 for what? Statement support or claim is just a general form. So what, Emilio, what would be the reasoning for that? Yeah. So I still got more questions for that. Okay, not a problem, Benny. And also, I want to just want to finish up saying thanks to everyone for supporting me, supporting my channel, support no, I got tongue tied. Thanks for all the super stickers, the donation. Thanks for let's give a round of applause for Mr. Du Bois One for coming on. Thank you for showing the support. Thank you for answering some of the questions. I think we were kind of like-minded on some of those, but it's always good for a fellow Raider to come on and support. I definitely appreciate that in answering some of those questions because we had the same answer, so other veterans got to see or hear from somebody else that other than myself. Okay, Lee family, not a problem. Thanks. Thank you for the time. So again, thanks for the support. Make sure you give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you can get notified. Thank you as well. God bless. Hey, Mr. Boyce. Hey, man, much love to you. If they got that quota, man, still, hey, I'm praying for you, man, because I know that quota can be crazy sometime. All right. So take care, be safe, and I'll see everyone in my next live stream or my veterans roundtable. Look forward on my website. Thank you. Good night.